Hopefully this takes me about 15 minutes, so I have a really good, really nice hour mark point.
Do be careful. That enemy's strong.
This
one's strong. Be careful.
Ragrian. Okay, big damage.
Let's go.
What do I want to do?
Yeah!
Spreading out, that's what I want to do.
Let's go. Roar! Healing strike!
I got this.
Alright, you've got... Oh my gosh, you're 122. Being weak to water will actually be kind of helpful for me. This is like a volcano mammoth.
You're mine! It's down!
I actually messed up. I needed to use a Brave Order right there. Wow.
Take this!
Very well.
Also, wow. 20,000 damage on the return there is kind of insane.
I shall go.
Right, let's
Search
see what
mode
we're dealing
activate.
with.
Detailed information obtained.
Cryptid from another dimension, imbued with the energy of that of the sun. It burns its foes so that not even ashes remain. Would you look at that? It has a 30 for burn. Fascinating.
Let's go.
Try burning.
Crimson Slash! It's down! Kurt!
I just goofed again.
Yes.
Oh my god. I was supposed to activate damage reduction.
An opening.
I shall go.
Set it down. I feel like we don't need to heal yet.
Switch. Leave it to me.
Let's swap to some
Ha!
damage
My
dealing
turn.
capabilities here.
Now, heat. It's down!
I've got you.
Very well.
Let's see, Reen will go crazy soon. TM.
Let's go.
Alright, let's Black
Hold
Tortoise.
fast. Black Tortoise formation. It's my turn. Tuh.
Go crazy, Reen.
Do it!
There's the first art support I've seen from him. Actually, maybe it's the second. There was one time where I was like, why do you have that?
Arcus, activate.
Okay, that's annoying. Reen's on the case, though.
I'm going. Ha!
Guess I could do this for you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
He only said thank you because I said
It's
you're
my
welcome.
turn.
I really don't want her on
Arcus,
cleanup
activate.
duty here. She's supposed to be doing 20,000 damage with her Aqua Bleed.
Thanks. Let's go.
Yeah. It's my turn.
Right, man, calm
Hold
down.
fast. Black Tortoise formation.
Start getting an attitude like, it's
Let's
my
go.
turn. You ain't gonna take it away from me. Like, relax,
Yeah! Let's go.
bro. Now get in there, just in case we can get a counter for a miss.
An opening. It's down.
An opening.
I'm going.
Alright, hang in there, everybody.
Arcus, activate!
We're trying to throw
I'm
out
up.
some sick, nasty aqua bleeds.
Roar! Healing strike! It's down!
It's mine! Sure.
It's down!
I've got you!
My turn. Cha!
Cancel her cast and
An opening.
stun her.
Let's go! Tuh! Now!
It's mine!
I imagine this guy's gonna go turbo here in a minute. Yep. There it is.
My turn.
Okay. If I have my inclination here correct, he wants to cast the Lost Art that I will be getting from him. And if he ever gets to cast said Lost Art, I just lose. Let's not try to have that happen to us, shall we? Although, seeing if Absolute Reflect does anything is tempting. But at the same time, I think it doesn't work. I don't think it worked in Cold Steel 2 when I was at the Glacia Shrine. I think I tried a shenanigan somewhat similar to that, maybe, and I just instantly died. So let's not take a chance.
Prepare yourself! Ha! Shatter!
Yeah, look at that break damage right there.
I'm going!
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna find out. Unless, no, Sarah doesn't have one. Nobody else has one, so
Let's go!
here we go.
It's my turn! Arcus, activate!
Oh, it's just 7th caliber. What was I afraid of?
Sure.
I think the reflect damage might be based off of your current health, or maybe max health. Not 100% sure.
Now. It's down!
I've got you!
Do it!
There we go. Give me 25,000. I'll take the 15.
It's my turn!
Alright, Green will be able to take care of that. But just in case, there's a 10% chance that he won't.
Ah!
Do it!
Yes!
Oh, you are casting something that probably won't be interrupted. I think we'll play this safe.
There!
Thanks.
Let's go!
Again, I'm a little concerned.
Let's go! Evan Crest!
Let's go! There!
Yes! Ha!
I got this.
There'd be 2. Green's gonna take it regardless. So I have to impede.
You're mine!
Right.
Yes.
Broken.
Ha! Now's our chance.
It's mine!
All right, Reen, I need you to come back this turn.
Let's go.
You let me down.
Chuck! My turn. Huh! It's down!
I've got you.
Now!
One turn too late, of course.
Yes.
That's how these things work. I was like, wow, you were like really close to this boss. Maybe it's okay?
Arcus, activate.
Damn it!
Not today.
Yes.
Hold fast! Black Tortoise Formation!
Black.
It's my turn.
Tortoise.
Arcus, activate.
Oh my gosh.
Do it!
I'm going. Ha!
Very well.
Well, let's do this.
Prepare yourself!
There.
An opening!
All right, we're getting hit by 7th caliber.
Yes.
Actually, we can have Reen interrupt it. And I don't think that sounds like a horrible thing. There's a possibility of getting a kill out of it
Arcus,
too.
activate.
My mind is clear.
We also have Ash as backup. Oh my gosh, that did 9,000 damage.
Now,
We're screwed.
let's dance.
Oh my gosh. This is how it
Let's
all
go.
ends.
Good luck!
Let's move.
Oh my gosh, you don't have enough.
It was foolish.
I hesitated. I got this.
Ugh.
I'll leave it to you. I'll handle it.
What's the term for, oh crap, I am dead? Okay, so I can S-craft and hope that 180 will do 4,000 damage. Or I can Ebb and Shade and hope I can resurrect 2 people. And I think this is the correct play.
Stealth mode. Activate. I shall go. Charging! Yeah!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, he just got 10%
An opening.
HP.
Now.
Very well.
I swap terrain. Super duper grr.
Yeah! Thanks for the help.
An opening.
My turn. Arcus, activate. Yeah!
I want those BPs right there, and I think this will be worth it. Actually, no, it won't, but we got 3 BP out of it.
An opening.
And a counter. And a break.
Very well.
Alright, we got it. Woof. Woof. Alright. Going on the defensive for that one decision made a world of difference.
Behold, the Vander style.
Holy crap, man. That was a little rough. But that guy was 22 levels higher than me. So, minimum 22 levels. Prominence Nova. Alright, is she still up there? She is. Alright, let's make a quick trek up there and see what she says. So this is the Osgiliath Basin, is it? They say this land is barren and is inhospitable, but a colossal presence lingers here. How very intriguing. I will continue investigating places that command my attention, but I do so hope our paths will cross again. No one like Beryl. At least we don't have to worry about her taking care of herself. Right? Feels good to beat that encounter. Actually gives me a little bit of hope that I'll be able to do encounters that are way out of my league. I'm glad I went back up here. I had a feeling that there was a ladder. Now I can go up here whenever I want. Vandaba. Alright, so before I head back to the whatchamacallit, let's see. We need to do this. I'm glad they wrote this down. It's a lot of modern factory workshops. One of them was in Parm. We'll go to Parm, grab this easy one, air quotes. I think we might rest up as well. Oh, I needed to mark the end of that fight. Lows. This is the workshop where Pablo used to work. Mind if I ask you something? Reen explained the situation to Dwight and asked if he had a large pump gear. Yeah, it's just like Pablo expected. I've got some right here. They're used in the municipal water wheels, after all. Here you go. Right, how much? Don't worry about it, just take it. We gotta help each other in times like this. Besides, if Pablo's involved, I don't want payment. It's very kind of you. It's pretty nice of this guy. We could try Aaron Village, I suppose. Apparently something's going on in the fairy spring. Oh, is that a side quest? No, it's not. Certainly sound confident. Hitting it hard today. Enter the hot spring with Angelica and 3 other girls to trigger a sub-event. I can't make that transition right now. I don't want to do that. I wish I could change my party right now to like whoever I want. Aaron Village Workshop. They make all kinds of tools here. Maybe they'll have the cooling coil Valerie asked for. Excuse me, could I ask you something? Spoke to Gandalf. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got some of those. After all, they're a vital part in making medicine, perfume, all that good stuff. If it's brandy you're making, you'll want the biggest one you can get. Here, this ought to do it. Put that wallet away. This one's on the house. Y'all are important guests of the Elder, after all. Thanks, I'll definitely return here as a customer if I need any help. Nice old geezer, ain't he? You'd never guess it by looking at him. I'd rather get a discount on all future purchases than get this for free. Just saying. Yeah, I'll have to remind myself. I do want to actually enter the hot spring, though. Can I skip this?
Fatigue removed.
It's just gonna keep reminding me that's good. I need to be reminded. Alright. He said Raquel was not good enough. I don't think I can go to Milsante. There's like no other places to go. Well, actually, I guess maybe our Orbital Factory will have something. Okay. I also need to do, I guess, Yuna's. Maybe we'll do Elisa's. Whatchamacallit. I want to save before doing this, just in case I trigger things that I don't want to. I doubt it, but you never know. Also, we did get a new lost art. Summons a flaming phoenix that reduces the battlefield to ash. Removes positive effects. This is pretty nice. Look at that movement on it, too. Fire, space, wind. Giving this to Reen wouldn't be the most horrible thing in the world, except wouldn't really work out. Get rid of Confuse? No. Oh, right. I need to upgrade them. That's what's holding me back from using those. I don't think I have the necessary Zephyth to do this, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see here. You have some of those, but you would never use that problem. You're good. You're good. Start doing these. They's got plenty. Yuna's gonna force her way into my party at some point, so I can't just leave her out in the cold. Oh, so either one of these could work. I'll probably do it like this. You know, it's more strength. Like, oh, actually, I was thinking about giving it to Reen. I don't think Reen will ever actually use it. Whereas, well, actually, Reen could use it. What can go here? Nothing. And it would have to be... Yeah, so it has to be in one of those slots. I don't think Reen really needs that movement. I definitely want this on a character who's not really going to be casting a lot of spells. I don't have a whole lot of options for me, do I? I guess we'll put that on you, and we'll just suck it up and put this on you. Which means... this attack 3 on you. Okay. I already saved, but we're going to save again because you can't save too much. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I'm out of water. Could have restocked. Guess that means I'm guess I'm just not gonna drink anything for a little bit. Alright, so alright. Don't interrupt me. If I want to go to the deck and talk to you, I'll do that. You sucker-foos. Back in the Merkabah, Reen and the others quickly gathered on the bridge. They then proceeded to discuss the new information that Tawa had acquired. You have got to be kidding me. I was worried what the Imperial Defense Forces administration and Marquis Hiram's absence might lead to. You were right to worry. Meet the new interim supervisor of St. Ark. Oh my gosh. What are they doing? Marquis Wilhelm Ballard. Uncle of the former Duke Cayenne, my grand uncle. Guess that greedy old mongrel got his grubby hands back in the hen house, huh? Ash, remember, he is still a member of the nobility, though I'm inclined to agree, for the most part. Selling out to the government to further his own prestige again, is he? As if that buffoon hadn't caused enough damage in Ortis. Could have sworn they kept him under house arrest after the whole debacle at the Imperial Provincial Council. It's clear the government decided otherwise, frankly speaking. Yeah, apparently he arrived from Heidendalar, with 2 guests in tow. One of them a member of Thor's, and the other a member of the Imperial family. No way. Almost identical to what happened in Ortis, play for play. There's quite a number of students and personnel of the branch campus whose whereabouts are unknown. But we've only got so many Imperial family members running around. Yeah, there's only one person it can be. But who's the Thor's person? Oh, Tita, right. In any case, that's all the information we currently have. We'll have to sneak our way into St. Ark, the capital of Sutherland Province. Then you're taking the 3 of us with you, me, Kurt, and Allie. Agreed, we've already been to St. Ark twice now. Plus, I spent most of my childhood in Sutherland. I'd like to see for myself how things have changed. Well, in that case, I might as well come with. Breknor Fortress isn't too far from town. I might be able to find out more about my dad in the 4th Armored Division. I feel like me and Sarah should tag along too. The guild has a temporary branch there, might end up useful. Okay, so the characters that come with us are very important because that denotes who we're going to be running into. And if Fee wants to come along, that means that we're going to run into Zephyr. If Sarah is coming along, Zephyr is, relevant too. But no, I don't know who Sarah has too many connections with here. But maybe we'll run into Zombie Toval. Agreed. But we both can't go. Oh wait, that's not what she said. Agreed. But we can't both go. Basically, we've got bracers operating all over. One of us needs to stay back and be a liaison. To your point, we can decide for sure when the mission starts. Team's looking pretty solid. Now to get cracking on how we're pulling this thing off. Would it not be the simplest to teleport in from the witch's village and infiltrate from there? Actually, we can't use that route right now. There's something strange going on with the teleportation stones in South Isthmia. Probably a disturbance in the spirit veins, if I had to guess. How convenient! I suppose our landing point will just have to be up to our discretion then. I'll begin searching for candidates. The rest of us can start preparing in the meantime. Let's get to it, everyone. So that's how life stuff works? Speak to Rosine. Yep. Was I right? I was right. Merkabah's workshop. The equipment here is totally state-of-the-art. I should see if they have a pressure regulator valve. Pardon me, could I ask you something? A pressure valve, huh? As a matter of fact, we do have some. They're for the ship, though I don't really know much about them. In any case, here you are. Thank you very much. You're a lifesaver. How much do I owe you? Oh no, there is no way I could ask any more of you. By all means, take it, I insist. That's extremely generous of you, thank you. Just another thing we gotta owe Warzel for, I guess. Got everything we needed now, right? Yeah, let's head back to Mirio and the others. You're not gonna fast travel me, huh? The disrespect. Okay, so we have plenty of time, so let's go back to... Where am I going again? Oh wow, this scrolls down, so never mind about my thoughts on how things were gonna go. Level 101. If Sarah and Fee are gonna do this, I'm definitely gonna bring Sarah along because, well, actually maybe I should bring Fee because of my hypothesis here. Life is hard. Fee is this one. I don't remember what Fee's whatchamacallit is. Life is hard. Anyways. Oh, you're back. Have you brought the parts we asked for? Yeah, I hope we got the right ones. Green handed the parts over to Pablo and the others. Let's see here. Pressure valve, cooling coil, and large pump gear. Can't believe it. But you've worked another miracle. That's kind of their thing, isn't it? Thanks a bunch, Ash. Whatever. The rest is on you guys. Just leave it to us. This is my chance to show my engineering skills. I'll show you what Class 9 is made of. I'm gonna give Gasco and Kai a call as a precaution. Began to distill brandy, partially as a test to see if the still had been properly repaired. After a few trial runs, it was distilling brandy like it had never stopped in the first place. That was a surprisingly easy fix. What a relief. I don't know how to thank you. Working in a big group makes things easier, doesn't it? I don't think it's how many, but who. You guys from Thor's really can do anything. You might be a bit on the younger side, Kai, but I gotta say, I'm impressed. Yeah, you're quite the engineer. I'm looking forward to seeing where you'll go from here. Absolutely. Well, baby steps first, right? Kai kind of reminds me, like, his look kind of reminds me of Hero from Dragon Quest XI. You all really make a solid team, you know that? Darn, so each distillation takes like 10 hours, right? Right, it does take a certain amount of time, for better or worse. Not that it matters much to us, Ash. Or have you forgotten? We're not old enough. How can I forget when someone reminds me every single time? On that note, we've actually prepared a sampling of our signature beverages for you. It's our way of expressing our gratitude. Anyone of legal age is welcome to some Steinrose, of course. We prepared some delicious grape juice for those who aren't. It's some of our best, I'm really delighted to say. Not really a juice guy, but whatever, I guess. Grape juice it is. Ash, you really would do well to learn some manners one of these days. Not a bad situation we found ourselves in, what with being able to taste some grape juice from Ulster. It was thirsty work searching for the parts. I would appreciate some of that juice now, please. Who would have thought we'd get to drink some Steinrose this early in the day? I mean, even if it's just a tasting, it counts. Everyone had an excellent time with an age-appropriate beverage in hand. I want a juice box. Muriel and the others offered their thanks once more when the group left the distillery a short while later. Hey, Sherazard! Come to take a look at Oliver's hometown, and who do I see but the famous Class 7. Fresh from the Steinrose distillery, too. I can smell the lovely aroma from here. Any other time, and I'd go pick a few bottles up. I'm sure Cassius would like some, too. But I can't afford to be spotted, not yet. I hear the Ashen Chevalier's got some sharp senses. I better go before he notices me. Alright, Shara. Alright. Schwarzer noticed you. Mm-hmm. This feeling. It didn't feel malicious. Maybe I don't have anything to worry about. No. Schwarzer notices everything. Check yourself. To the bridge. Let's report. Report number 1.
Okay, let's see how you did. Yay! Your rank went up! Here's a gift from Her Highness.
Ooh, Hades.
Thanks, everyone. Great job. See you later, Reen.
Okay, bye. Okay, let's remember to do... Let me see. So 3 girls. Angelica. Bring Duvali with us. Who do we leave out? Alright, Altina, I'm sorry. Where is Aaron Village? There we go. Go to the Fairy Spring. Okay, this is going to be the most awkward thing. I mean, we've already had so many ridiculous hot spring scenes in this game, and I have a feeling that this one is going to eclipse them all. I have a feeling, but maybe we'll get like an item out of it or something. Right, hold on. Hold on. Hold. Relax. Bruh. Hello? There we go.
Let's go!
Rin and the others enjoyed the hot springs and took their time resting in the village. By some stroke of fate, an unexpected combination of people ended up soaking in the springs together. Ah, who knew that paradise would be tucked away right here, with all these angels to shelter me from the bleak world outside. But this party can't really get started without Tawa. She needs to come over here, or I'll regret it my whole life long. Well, someone knows what she likes, and isn't afraid to go right for it. She's not the picky type, that's for sure, but I doubt I'm her top choice. Why is she looking at me like that? It reminds me way too much of Shirley. Yeah, we get it. You're on cloud 9 over there. Doesn't make much sense to me when you're not so bad looking yourself. Unless you really do only swing that way. Is that it? Come on, you can't just ask like that, Ash. Oh, Ash. I guess your silly little boy brain hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet. Come again? Cute girls and beautiful women are the treasure of this empire. All of Zemuria, even. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman. It just takes class to appreciate Adios's finest masterpieces, each and every one of them. There's nothing better than cozying right up close to them, with only the tiniest little towel to come between you. I don't want to know what she's picturing in her head right now. Alright, I think I've heard enough of that laugh for one lifetime. Now, Angelica, any more of that and you'll be drooling into the water. I think I'm gonna stay out of this one. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I remember inviting her to Ymir in my school days, and she made just as much of a splash back then. Hey, Angelica, you traveled all around the continent on your bike, didn't you? I'm guessing your definition of sightseeing was to take in Adios's finest masterpieces over anything else, right? Something the matter, Angelica? Hear me out. Sure enough, wherever I went, I'd find myself surrounded by squeeing girls. Sounds just perfect, yeah? Or I follow so far? Yeah, go ahead and brag. But every time I'd start to make my move, some boyfriend or concerned family member would get in the way. They'd chase me out of town, and I'd have to move on to the next place without a proper goodbye from any one of those sweet girls. How could fate be so cruel to me? Where is Adios when innocent people like me have to suffer terrible injustice and heartbreak? Adios was probably looking out for all those guys you were trying to steal girlfriends from. Sounds like divine punishment to me. Alright, that was silly. That was silly. Alright, we have one more bonding event to do. Get the homies out of here. Kurt. You. Alright, to the Orbital Factory. Okay, is it going to be Yuna, who is, could be doing homework, probably writing to her family, or Elisa, who's probably doing some interesting engineering stuff. I think Elisa's going to do it, plus she has the heart. No, that's not good either. I wonder if here might. Elisa, what are you up to? Oreen. I was just thinking of giving my EXA some proper maintenance. So I'm trying to find a good spot somewhere down on the surface. The EXA was RF's version of the Liberalian orbital gear, right? That's the one. It folds up pretty nicely, so it's fine in the hold. But actually using it takes up a lot more space. We have the maintenance kit and everything, so anywhere outdoors would work just fine. I see. Maybe I should help Elisa search for a good location. I could lend a hand with the equipment too. Would you mind if I helped out with the search? I could lend a hand or two with the equipment too. This could be the chance I was waiting for. What was that? Nothing, nothing. Thanks for offering, Reen. You mind if I take you up on it? What a weird thing to ask. Hey, I'm offering you my help. Hey, would you mind if I take you up on that help that you just offered? Reen and Elisa consulted their radars and maps to try and find a suitable location. They soon headed off to one of the more promising candidates, out of the view of the public eye. I hope I don't have to fight it. So this is the route Yuna and the others took to Ulster last time, huh? We're out of sight of the main road here. We should be able to work in peace. We can always escape with Valimar if things go south. Guess we should get started. Can I see the manual? Sure thing, here. Looks like you've managed to follow the instructions all right so far. I'm surprised. I thought you didn't work on maintenance or the projects and management side of things. I assume you picked it up along the way? Well, I'm still nothing compared to Tita, or nothing special. But I figured it's kind of silly to be working in this industry if I don't understand what's going on at the ground level. Especially if I want to be able to do something about the destruction caused by orbital weaponry. I did my best to revise this manual so that it's easier for the average consumer to do their own maintenance. Wow, that's seriously impressive, Elisa. You've really worked hard to make it this far without relying on your mother or her connections. No help from Sharon this time either, huh? Right, although now I wish I did have her here for different reasons. Elisa. Say, Reen, what is it? When you offered to help me out today, I was really happy. For a second, I actually thought about turning you down. But in the end, I thought better of it. There's something I need to say.
Reen, I love you. Since the day we met, I've known you were the only one for me.
Elisa, Sorry for springing this on you. I just had to get it out in the open. So I can bury these feelings deep in my heart after getting some closure. Is this about your dad? Yes. First, my mom decides to cooperate with the government to make all these crazy panzer soldats and weapons of war. Then the woman who's been like a sister to me all my life turned against us. Lisa. Then finally, it turns out my dad's still alive, and that he's involved with the curse of Erebonia. Altina and Milliam have suffered so much, all because of my family. And you've been forced to carry such a huge burden. I can't help but feel responsible, and it's just too much. I really am sorry. First I tell you I love you, and then I take it back. That's why I need things to go back to the way they were. I need to be able to focus on helping you just as a friend. I don't want to waste energy clinging to some hopeless dream. So please, let's just... Elisa. Alright, I understand. If that's how you feel, I won't push you. But please, Elisa, just keep this in mind. I'm grateful you want to be there for me, but if you ever need me for anything, I hope you'll let me be there for you too. And at the end of the day, I'm still glad you told me how you feel. Okay. Thank you. Right now, that'll have to be enough for me. Alright, let's get back to work. There's still plenty both of us need to do. We can't slow down now. Lisa, yeah, you're right. Everybody's got the hots for Reen. Lisa and Reen finished up the repairs and returned to the Merkabah. Although their feelings were hard to put into words, they still parted ways with a smile. I hope they all like. I hope I don't get someone to two hearts, and they're like, "Ah, you've been hanging around with this hoe this entire time. Okay, well, I see how it is. And then, they just drop me. Like, look, man. I'm just spending bonding points. Is there anywhere else I need to go? I need to go to Raquel. But that's just to goof around and get that off the travel list. Actually, is this the place that I'm thinking of? I want to go up to... Yeah, I guess this would be the place I'm thinking of. No, Avon Hills is what I'm thinking of. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh, that just goes there. They won't let me go this way. The Imperial Defense Forces on patrol. I shouldn't risk it. Okay. Alright. Kind of feel like this would be a good place to stop for today. I kind of feel it. But why stop when you can keep going? Seems the Imperial Defense Force has set up some checkpoints all along the roads around Parm, so we have to use another route. But I think Tawa, or with Tawa and the rest of the crew helping, should be able to find us a suitable landing spot. Just let me know when you finished all your preparations. Let's see, we'll proceed with an 8-member party. Then held a briefing for the infiltration operation into the old capital. It was decided that the team would advance towards St. Arc from their old field exercise campsite, the same as they had done in Ordis. Come on, people. Their final remaining problem, however, would end up requiring further discussion. So we managed to find our infiltration route into the old capital, but we still need a way to reach those being held captive. Right, St. Arc's water veins prevent it from having any underground areas like Heimdallar or Ordis. Hiram's estate is pretty well fortified, not a whole lot of ways to sneak in, save for the front door. Yeah, it looks like we've hit a bottleneck. Trying to force our way in somewhere so heavily guarded by the Imperial Defense Force would be unrealistic, to say the least. Then in that case, our best bet just might be Marquis Ballad himself. Even after the Imperial Provincial Council, he's still a capable person in his own way. There's no doubt about that. He's a downright genius when it comes to protecting his assets and profits, that is. But in the end, his short-term greed ended in a long-term stint as the government's personal stooge, as well as that whole fiasco in Ordis. I suppose taking advantage of him wasn't exactly a challenge. So in short, he's fussy yet sloppy, like a big old baby. Right. One will have ample chances to take advantage of. Thanks, Angelica. I get the feeling this will come into play. We'll find a solution one way or another. We'll be arriving soon. Prepare for landing, everyone. Put together an 8-party... I can't select them both. I'm gonna select Fee against my better judgment. Okay, so Muse, you're coming with... I kind of feel like I should bring Crow or Duvali just for some shenanigans. Especially if we're expecting Rutger to show up. But party composition wise, it would be Reen, Kurt, Altina, and then another melee person, most likely, or even Muse. Let's bring Ash. Let's just keep the normal homies with the homies. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in my face by choosing Fee instead of Sarah. This is where we found the Draken. A good place to land, yes? So quiet. There's no one around as far as the eye can see. Yeah, this could be a good place to hide Valimar. Now that that's settled, let's get going to St. Ark. We should be able to see it from the northern road. Lead the way. Keeping Sarah safe by leaving her behind? The main reason I'm bringing Fee is just because if we do run into Rutger, they're going to have a nicer interaction with each other than Sarah would. But I'm sure Sarah is going to run into something. There was some audio lag, 1 second delay. Let's check. I wouldn't say it's 1 second, but there is a slight delay. Very, very slight. I'll stay here while you're gone. Remain on your guard, Awakener and secondary contractors of the Ashen Knight. Valimar Millium, just wait a little longer. We should get going to St. Ark. For some reason, there's a shop. Oh, I could go in right there. Okay. We'll go into a battle, and I'll pay attention to that.
The road going left leads to St. Ark. You guys were there not too long ago, right?
Yes, to investigate a singularity.
I bet we know even more about this area than you, Instructor.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
In that case, maybe you can lead us to town.
Let's check if the entrance is clear first.
Loud noises.
Now's our chance!
Here I go! Ta ta!
My turn. Shot.
Now. Yeah!
Let's go!
Yeah, I would say there is
Everyone okay?
there is an audio delay, but To me, it's not that noticeable. If you're not listening out, like if you're not looking for it, you probably won't notice it. Really? Let's do this.
Hey, how's it hanging? Let me take a peek at the... Whoa, here's a little something.
Shirley and Maribel? What? How are you doing this?
I'll take a look then. Wow, these results are...
40%?
Let's check.
Okay. Oh, okay. We're not getting in this way. That's... Zauber's soldats. And the Imperial Defense Force, too. Security appears to have been heightened since the last time we were here. We must have heard about what happened in Ordis. Should have expected this. Yeah, we did get pretty wild. Doesn't look like we'll be able to just walk in. Over there, we can get to the railway lines from here. Or there? That could work. What she said here. It's the best chance we have at slipping through. Let's get going. Rena and the others continued along the Parm branch line via the cliffside path. They snuck inside the city after discovering a blind spot in the patrols. That's cheating, doing that off screen. Looks like we were able to pull it off without them noticing. That shortcut sure came in handy. You bracers really know your stuff. I'd say my Jaeger background played just as much of a part in getting a lay of the land. Plus I found this particular shortcut before. Glad it could help out. Now that we've made it through, we should proceed with our objective. Right, let's gather information first and confirm the situation. Marquis Ballad's influence on this area is obvious. We investigated St. Arc just recently, so we should be able to help with getting around the area. That'd be perfect. Alright, let's get going. Oh, Elliot's coming with us because maybe his sister is still here. His sister. You've got a sister. Sir Sylvester. Let's see. We'll talk to the Archbishop. It'll be like, oh, Elliot. Your hair and eye color have changed, but I'm relieved to see that you are still yourself. Archbishop Ramsden, you seem to have an overview of the situation. There was no need to talk about it prior, but I had heard of the Black Records before. After Prince Olivert's funeral, the head archbishop and I received more details from the Congregation for the Sacraments. I see. I'm trying to think if there is anything else I can do for the current situation. I tried to make a prototype medicine that would relieve the effects of the curse through pharmaceuticals. Unfortunately, we didn't really achieve any positive results. Since it appears the Congregation for the Sacraments will be sitting idly by, it's made me aware of how powerless the church is. No, the fact that you, Archbishop Ramsden, are taking action is reassuring enough. Seems I've made you worry. I want to do what I can to support you in your efforts. Come and see me if you have any time if you need medicine. Thank you very much. Putting a heavy weight on your shoulders. Okay, you're not gonna tell Elliot that his sister has been looking for him, dog?
Here I go!
Very well.
Now!
Yeah, okay. I see how it is. Or rather, Elliot sees how it is. Why do I get the feeling you guys are bracers? Why do I get that feeling? Well, we pulled it off somehow, but I feel like we didn't quite click with the audience. Yeah, I'd hoped to really make it worth their while after coming all this way. We had so little time to prepare, it's no wonder we couldn't give it our best. Let's contact Sully and the others and Raquel and... Sully, I've heard that name. Yeah, haven't we met those guys before? Wait a minute. You're the performers from Arkham Seal. Oh yes, we are. Why do you ask? Haven't we met before? Yep, I'm from Crossbell too. Last time I went home, I peeked in on one of your rehearsals and got to know Sully. I see. Now that you mention it, I do remember Sully bringing something like that up. Gotta say, it's nice to run into people from Crossbell while we're out in Erebonia proper. Right, I've heard of Arkham Seal. They're a pretty famous theater troupe over in Crossbell. During our infiltration mission, we met another one of their members ourselves. What brings you guys to St. Ark? Are you on tour? Thought Sully and the others were going to Raquel. That was the plan. We had to make a little detour to Marquis Hiram's mansion. A mansion? Yeah, we'd been touring around Lemaire up till a bit ago. Then we got a request to come here to put on a private performance. Those of us that were in the area changed our schedule around to fit it in. We just danced for the most part, and the reception we got wasn't bad or anything, but people did say they would have liked some music to accompany our act. I see. Rich people get what they want. You said the Marquis summoned you. Was there anyone else there? Yeah, apparently he's really into the performing arts right now. He's reached out to bands, performers, and dancers from all over the place. Is that so? If we can't satisfy our audience with just a dance, then we've fallen flat as performers. We need to train our absolute limits for when Ilya and Rixia return. Right. We'll have to dive right into special training when we get back. Count me in. I'll whip myself into shape right with you. I'm rooting for you guys. Oh, and say hi to Sully for me too. Thanks, we'll be sure to do just that. See you later. Joke's on you, Yuna. We already said hi to Sully. Now this might be just the thing we need. Elliot? I might have something, but I want you to be sure of my idea before I tell you. You want us to be performers. We're going to trick the Marquis to invite us in because we're going to be musical performers. It is by far one of the silliest ideas. Marquis Hiram's mansion is ahead. You couldn't get in before, right? That's right. With the Imperial Defense Force still around, it'll likely be difficult to get close this time as well. There must be a way inside somehow.
Dare you! Just who do you think I am?
That's great uncle. We haven't seen Marquis Ballard since Ordis. That's not true. We saw him in Heimdallar after Ordis. I told you, I'm only heading out to do an inspection of this so-called spinning town. It shouldn't be an issue for me to do so, should it? Please leave inspections and other public duties up to us. We're on surveillance detail and we'll handle all of it. We need you to do the duties only you can do. What duties? I just stamp useless paperwork every minute of the day. The city is way too boring. There needs to be a casino or a nightclub or something.
No! Unhand me! How long must I live in the confines of boredom?
I'm speechless. He's not what I thought he'd be like. Yes, and the Imperial Defense Force is treating him callously despite his supposed role as interim supervisor. I think I'm starting to get the real picture about how St. Ark, Marquis Ballad, and the Imperial Defense Force function together. Right. If we can just get past that, then we will summon Exodia. That's how this works. Oh, Fiona's still here. Can't believe it's been so hard for me to get in touch. Just where are those two? Hey, isn't she? Yes, we met her in the cathedral back when we infiltrated the city. You did you? When I rushed over before, I didn't come near the old capital. Talk about a near miss. Wait, what? You guys. Hey, sis, it's been a while. It's been forever since we've been able to get in touch. It's good to see you're all right. What? Shut the front door. I see. I was right when I thought I'd seen that hair color before. Elliot, is that you, Elliot? It's really you. I can't believe it. And who's that with the gray hair? Wait, it couldn't be. Good to see you, Fiona. Let's just say a lot has happened. Yeah, Reen went under a lot of stress and he kind of grew all gray hair. Fiona Craig.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Elliot's older sister, Fiona Craig.
Why you gotta say older sister? Why are you trying to establish dominance like that?
Who would have thought those kids I met were the new Class 7? I've heard oh so much about you.
Not enough, apparently, because you didn't recognize them.
Perhaps it was the will of the goddess that we crossed paths the way we did.
I mean, it obviously didn't matter because nobody got the memo. So you're Elliot's big sister. I ought to have read her dossier back during the Civil War, but I suppose my memory must have failed me when we met. Must be fate we met like this. When I became a bracer and came to the capital, she helped both me and Sarah out a ton. I remember that. Monkius and I have met with her several times since the Civil War. The fact that it only took a single train ride to reach the capital made it easy to meet up. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to see her since I left for the branch campus, though. We've all been so busy. There's been no time for niceties. But I'm glad to see you're all well. Class 7 went missing, and then before I knew it, both of you were caught up in the chaos. It's a relief to see you again. I'm sorry I made you worry. It's fine, really. All that matters is that you and Class 7 are okay. Now, if I only knew what was going on with Father and Nightheart. I know those names. General Craig, who commanded the 4th Armored Division, and Lieutenant Colonel Nightheart, who was in the same class as my brother. Mr. Nightheart. Thinking back, you did say something about trying to go to Dreknor Fortress, didn't you? Sounds like searching for Elliot isn't the only reason you came to St. Ark. That's right, in truth, I haven't been able to get in contact with Father or Nightheart for some time. Inspections in the area around the fortress have gotten very strict, and I haven't been able to make it through to check on them. Even with the war on the horizon, it is a bit concerning for them to go totally incommunicado. I think the answer lies in why security has been strengthened so much around the fortress right now. Yeah, maybe it has some connection with what's been going on at the mansion. What do you mean? As a matter of fact, explained that individuals from Thor's and the Imperial family are under house arrest at the mansion. I can't believe it. Fiona, do you have any more info that might be useful for us? I certainly did gather a lot of information while trying to find out about you. And I'm sorry to say this is the first I've heard so much as a whisper of what you just told me. Absolutely nothing? That in itself is conspicuous. It's not the sort of thing they'd broadcast, but it being that secret doesn't sit right with me. There must be a reason why. I just have no idea what that could be. Clock's ticking, people. Let's just get moving and see what we can find out. I think that's our only option right now. Fiona, I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. Of course, the same goes for all of you. Be careful. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know and I'll do whatever I can. Thank you. Alright, we've got an idea about what's going on around town. Yeah, Ballard isn't acting independently after all. He's merely a figurehead. It's the IDF that has real power here. They're calling all the shots, and no one can even hold them responsible for what they're doing. Almost makes me feel sorry for Ballard. Well, either way, we'll need to get inside the mansion. The issue is how. About that, I have an idea. Oh? Really? Let's hear it. Well, I can't guarantee it'll work. Is there somewhere we could talk in private? You're right. Best to avoid prying ears. We could go to the temporary guild office in the residential district. Does that work for you? It's like the first place they'll look for us. The voice plays before the attack. Listen during voice acting cutscenes. I wonder if I have any voice lines I can listen in here.
Let's check if the entrance is clear first.
Alright. A button.
Let's check if the entrance is clear first.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
There is a delay. There is a delay. But it's not 1 second. But with the advent of a possible small delay, and it being 12 hours today, I think this is a wonderful time to set the game down. We've reached 49 hours. We'll just say 50 hours. We're only 3 minutes off. And I think we've made some progress. We're in that downturn of the game where we're kind of doing silly things. I mean, it's not technically silly, but in the grand scope of things, there is kind of like that cognitive dissonance going on where, you know, a war's being prepared for and we're just kind of running around rescuing people when we could be, you know, doing something about the war. But whatever. I digress. I will be back tomorrow around 6 a.m. Pacific time to continue with hopefully just as much Trails of Cold Steel 4. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See ya tomorrow. Peace.